People on Twitter, when it was trending, people saying, "Oh, what would have happened if Ricky had been hosting it?" And I said nothing, because I wouldn't have made a joke about his wife's hair. I'd have made a joke about her boyfriend.
And then the world got to see James Corden as a fat. He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that. Dame Judi Dench defended the film, saying it was the role she was born to play.
It wasn't me.
In the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
Ricky had been on stage for barely a few seconds, and he was already treating Hollywood's most uncomfortable subject like casual dinner conversation. That nervous laughter told the whole story.
And let's present a star in Netflix's Bird Box, where people survive by acting like they don't see a thing. Sort of like working for Harvey Weinstein. You did it. I didn't. You did it. Shut the f*** up.
That joke didn't need an explanation. Half the room laughed, the other half checked who was watching, and Ricky looked completely delighted with both reactions.
If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. If you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and f*** off. Okay?
He didn't just roast their political speeches, he cancelled them before anyone even won. Imagine receiving the biggest award of your career, and Ricky has already muted your microphone.
People on Twitter, when it was trending, people saying, "Oh, what would have happened if Ricky had been hosting it?" And I said nothing, because I wouldn't have made a joke about his wife's hair. I'd have made a joke about her boyfriend.
And then Iowa has been giving out gun permits to blind people, not just partially blind, but completely blind people who aren't allowed legally to drive cars. Just because they lost their sight, why should they lose the constitutional right to continue having a gun?
Yeah, well, it's a difficult one, but the short answer is because they can't see what they're shooting.
1 minute he's explaining how he would survive the Will Smith situation. The next he's solving America's blind gun debate. Ricky doesn't change subjects, he crashes straight through them.
Room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world. People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you.
That wasn't even delivered like a joke. Ricky simply pointed toward the people making powerful executives nervous and let the silence expose how uncomfortable the room had become.
Talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for bar movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care.
Most hosts gently introduced the year's biggest movies. Ricky somehow turned the nominees into a police lineup and then acted offended when the room complained.
If you go on the Golden Globes, a lot of time you are politically incorrect and hilarious, of course.
Thank you.
And so,
Thank you.
So this is, well, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right, you know?
Mel Gibson, come on. No, come on. I'm not going to have a go at him. He's been through a lot. Not as much as the Jews.
That is Ricky's entire philosophy in one moment. Being offended doesn't automatically make you correct. Then, just to prove he meant it, he immediately dropped a joke nobody else would risk.
I've had a couple. I'm not going to lie to you. Now listen up. I haven't offended anyone. I didn't mean, it's not my fault. It's a lot of powerful people here, so if I said it's... Honestly, I like a drink as much as the next man. Unless the next man is Mel Gibson.
However, Ricky delivered his most...
Ricky started by admitting he liked a drink, and everyone relaxed for exactly 3 seconds. Then Mel Gibson's name arrived, and the whole room realized it had walked into a trap.
Right, listen, this is... Shush. Shush, shut up, really, seriously. Right, a few years ago, on this show, I made a joke about Mel Gibson getting a bit drunk and saying a few unsavoury things. We've all done it. I wasn't judging him, but now I find myself in the awkward position of having to introduce him again. Listen, I'm sure it's embarrassing for both of us, okay? And I blame NBC for this terrible situation. Mel blames, we know who Mel blames. I want to say something nice about Mel before he comes out. Oh yeah, okay, here you go. I'd rather have a drink with him in his hotel room tonight than with Bill Cosby. Please welcome Mel Gibson. Listen.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
I think we all want the answer to this.
Mm-hmm.
What the does sugar even mean?
I don't know, ask the guy that said it. It wasn't me.
This was less of an introduction and more of a public ambush with orchestra music. Mel tried to fire back, but Ricky returned with the one question nobody expected him to ask.
From the lambs that I had in my back garden.
Hold on. So they're basically your pets.
They weren't pets. You can't fall into that habit of allowing them to become pets, although they are very friendly to begin with, but then you've got to sort of distance yourself from them.
Where's it going to end? You and Jeremy Clarkson in a helicopter shooting your cousins. What? I get distance from them. I didn't really know them growing up. And they're so tasty.
No, it's just
You're so tough. I'm glad you got your shirt on. You always have to show a bit of that, don't you?
No.
It's for the menopausal women. They go, oh, look, he's taking his shirt. We went to the restaurant the other week carrying a stag. Who do you think you are? 4.
Hold on. No, but you enjoyed it, didn't you?
I just, you are, it's horrible. It feels worse than it looks. Imagine that. Just think of that. So look at that, right? And then imagine it feels and smells worse than it looks.
I'm married.
And imagine what it tastes like.
Gordon Ramsay usually makes everyone else nervous. Somehow, Ricky had him defending his sheep, his shirt, and possibly his entire lifestyle before the conversation was even over.
I collect stuff from movies, some of the stuff, movies I've done, but really mainly Star Trek memorabilia, because I love Star Trek.
Such a nerd.
Have you never been in a Star Trek? No, I've never been in a Star Trek, but I love the original series. Okay. Like I have the Gorn head from the original series where...
I know, I'm just nodding.
Oh, the Gorn head.
Gorn head. Okay. I have...
What the Gorn head?
Ben was trying to share something he genuinely loved. Ricky listened for about 5 seconds, located the nerdiest possible detail, and refused to let him leave with his dignity.
You play, in the UK version of The Office, play the boss. What is the weirdest excuse that you've ever heard?
You say the UK version.
Yeah.
I call it the original.
Back on the Golden Globe.
Calling it the UK version was all it took. Ricky corrected her so quickly you could almost hear every British fan nodding at the screen.
As I say, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner, obviously. Now Caitlyn Jenner, of course. What a year she's had. She became a role model for trans people everywhere, showing great bravery in breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers, but...
For once, somebody came prepared to embarrass Ricky. But instead of fighting it, he roasted his younger face and his current face before the host even got the chance.
The Golden Globes are to the Oscars what Kim Kardashian is to Kate Middleton, basically. Bit louder, bit trashier, bit drunker, and more easily bought.
He built that sentence like a respectful tribute, gave the room just enough time to relax, and then took the sharpest possible turn at the very last second.
Now, the Hollywood Foreign Press have warned me that if I insult any of you, or any of them, or offend any viewers, or cause any controversy whatsoever, they'll definitely invite me back next year as well.
Ricky compared an award show to a Kardashian and somehow insulted both at exactly the same time. That is not a punchline. It is comedy multitasking.
They actually gave me a list of rules. I'm going to ignore them, but I thought it would be good to read them out. No profanity. That's fine. I've got a huge vocabulary. No nudity. See, that's a shame, because I've got a huge... vocabulary, but a tiny penis. No, true. Doesn't matter, I don't care. And I mustn't mention Mel Gibson this year. Not his private life, his politics, and especially not Jodie Foster's beaver. I haven't seen it myself. Justin Bieber, he had to take a paternity test. What a waste of a test that would have been. He's not the father. The only way that he could have impregnated a girl was if he borrowed one of Martha Stewart's old turkey basters. Open wide.
What's the matter with your voice?
I've got a sore throat. That's it.
How long have you had the sore throat?
Just a couple of days.
See, now, I had a sore throat around the holidays.
It's all about you, isn't it? It's all about you.
Most hosts worry that controversy will cost them the job. Ricky knew controversy was the exact reason they kept calling him back.
5 this Thursday, aren't you?
That's correct, yes.
You can't use this till Thursday. This is official. I got you a bus pass and senior citizens.
Oh, it's a Metro card. There it is.
On a serious note, just looking at all the faces here reminds me of some of the great work that's been done this year by cosmetic surgeons. You all look great.
They handed Ricky a list of boundaries, so naturally he used it as material. By the end, the rules were broken, Bieber was roasted, and even a sore throat became an argument.
Year for 3D movies, Toy Story, Despicable Me, Tron. Seems like everything this year was three-dimensional, except the characters in The Tourist. I feel bad about that joke. No, I'll tell you what, I'm jumping on the bandwagon, because I haven't even seen The Tourist. Who has? I'd like to quash this ridiculous rumour going around that the only reason The Tourist was nominated was so the Hollywood foreign press could hang out with Johnny Depp and Angelina Jolie. That is rubbish. That is not the only reason. They also accepted bribes.
He gave Letterman a senior Metro card, then walked into another room and reminded every celebrity that their face probably came with receipts. Nobody was safe anywhere.
Question. It's real. You can have some.
Just checking.
Yeah. And be honest.
What?
Are you on recreational drugs? I'm joking. No, that's not the question. And we all know the answer. Ready?
I guess so.
Have you seen The Tourist yet?
No.
Ricky admitted he hadn't watched the movie, asked who actually had, and still delivered a more memorable performance than anything people remembered from the film itself.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long. Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. So... Even Prince Andrew's like, come on, Leo, mate, you know.
Johnny Depp knew exactly where the conversation was heading, and still walked into it. At least he took the hit like a professional, and even helped Ricky land it.
The world got to see James Corden as a fat He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that. Dame Judi Dench defended the film, saying it was the role she was born to play, because I can't do this next joke. Because she loves nothing better than plonking herself down on the carpet, lifting her leg, and licking her own minge. Verbal. It's the last time, who cares?
Leo was laughing because there was no possible comeback. When even Prince Andrew gets dragged into the comparison, you just smile and wait for the camera to move. Ricky actually stopped and said he couldn't do the joke, which only made everyone need to hear it more. Seconds later, the room learned exactly why he had hesitated. And that is what makes Ricky impossible to control. The more a joke feels like it should never be said, the more determined he becomes to finish it.